Hey, my friends, this is my second time ever going live, so pardon me while I get ready and adjust things. And I'm really glad you're here. Thank you so much. I appreciate it very much, guys. It's fun to have a rock and roll community to hang out with. A lot of us are separated by miles, but when you have this thing called the internet, it's really nice because we get to keep it real, and we're all together, man, hanging out on a Friday night. So I'm gonna put my phone in position, guys, while we wait to see, and hopefully people will come into the room. Um, I gotta rotate my phone. It says I'm learning as I go, guys. Well, it's saying orientation is locked, so I'm very sorry for this interruption. I hopefully everything's okay. Can somebody verify with me that we're seeing my messages? I guess I'll have to put it this way, guys. I am really sorry. I'm trying very hard to figure it out as I go, and wasn't prepared for this to happen at all. So pardon me, guys. I'm gonna figure it out, and then we'll be situated. Can you guys hear and see me okay? Hey, Gene Perfect in the house. Bill Shapiro, Ryan, AMZ. What's up, man? You guys can see me okay, right? And hear me? That's the important part. That's why we're here, right? I got a little natural lighting going on with a little mixed lighting. So yeah, you got to see Mr. Bill. There's Mr. Bill. Yeah, man, a lot of people like Mr. Bill. I'm gonna get closer and show you my KSKQ shirt. This is the radio station that my Church of Rock radio show broadcasts every Sunday night from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific time at kskq.org. And we appreciate all of our listeners. And it's on the radio, of course, here in Southern Oregon and Northern Cali. Hey, Nick, what's up, man? Glad you are. Yeah, I can see you. I can see you, Gene. Yep, there you are, man. Hey, guys, thanks for coming to Bloody F Mess Official. I have been looking forward to this all week. You know, don't get to see many people where I live because it's in a mountain town and I have no wheels currently. So kind of trapped. There's not even a bus line that comes out here, man, I do what I can. But power to the people for sure, and power to you guys for being here. I appreciate you all being here. Mike Neroth, Dylan Smut, what's up, brother? Yeah, man. Bill Shapiro says he loved my Enough's Enough story, and Alice Cooper and all those good stories. Thank you. You like the shirt? Cool. So I'd like to know where you guys are all communicating from. This is not just about me; it's about all of us, So I'd like to know where you're all from. Nick, hey, what's up, man? Where are we going? Come pick me up. We'll go anywhere you want, man. Let's go get a coffee and go sit by some water somewhere, man. That'd be fun. Yeah, I appreciate you guys being patient because when you're new at this stuff, you're kind of going by the seat of your pants, and a kind of a silly expression, but it's true. Come on, man. I got to have Mr. Bill in there. There he is. I just don't feel complete. And you can see my picture of Roz Williams, too. Wonderful, wonderful performer. Rest in peace to Roz. Troy Leach is in the house from Charlottesville, Virginia. Yeah. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you being here, Troy. We got North White Plains, New York in the house. Gloversville. Yeah, we've talked about this. I used to sell programs for the speedway there, the car racing speedway. I used to sell advertising in those things. Long story. Wentzville, Missouri. Yeah, I just sent your button that you ordered from my YouTube or my eBay store. Fanatic Pop Culture on eBay. Fanatic Pop Culture is where you find all my stuff for sale. Utica, New York. We got a lot of people from upstate New York in the house. Yeah, wonderful country. I've got some great friends up there in the Marcy, little teeny area called Marcy. Great place, man. Not too far from Vernon. Canadian. We've got a Canadian brother in the house. Corey Wheeler, what is up, man? Thanks for being here. We got Mark in the house saying you don't have any stash tonight, only wine. Hey, man, drinking wine, sporty odie drinking wine. You know what? Do what you want, man. Whatever makes you happy. I wish I could have some wine. I can't. Long story, but I wish I could. Kansas City, Missouri. Deborah, welcome. Woohoo! The home of Tech 9. Also, AMZ is dabbing in Ashland. Wow, that's Drew, my buddy Drew, my neighbor. He's in my neighborhood. I'd like to think that we're all a big universal neighborhood right now tonight being here. 23 people in the house. That's a welcome number. Thank you guys. What's up? Another Canadian living in South Carolina. Welcome, Zellstar. You're right by Marcy, huh? Bill Shapiro. It's just a good friend of mine. A couple people I know that live there actually. Mike, the Eagle has landed. You got your signed CD and vinyl from me in the mail. Awesome. I want to let people know right now, I do have my new album for sale. I've got maybe 20 copies left of this bad boy. This was released just a couple of months ago on Fanatic Records and Ragged Records out of Davenport, Iowa. Shout out to Bob and Lynn and John Burns from the great crew there. But yeah, my new album is for sale, guys. Bloody F Mess, Dark Days, Unfazed. Artwork by the great Sam Dantone up in Portland. Shout out to Sam. I love you, bro. And also, Sister Tracy from the Latitude 42 radio show and the Church of Rock. And she's this awesome person. She did the photo. And she did the photos on the inside. We got this cool lyric sheet that maybe I've never shown anybody. Unless you buy it, you know. But it's got all kinds of cool pictures and stuff that Tracy took. So this is available, and I'm hawking these. I have 20 copies left. dmoody41@hotmail.com. If you need that, you can hit me up privately. Also, guys, I've got maybe 30, 40 copies of the CD left. This was also, again, released Fanatic Records and Punk Media. My album has people from like the Plasmatics and the Germs and Jordan Longmire from Scotland. His dad started the Bay City Rollers. You know, the Plasmatics guys, Sammy Town from Fang, Sister Tracy, Bill Meisner from Bloody Mess and the Scab. So many wonderful people. Produced by the great Paul Rossler, too. Anyway, guys, enough hawking my merchandise. Let's get to some of your questions. Thank you, Alan. He's got the copy of my CD. He likes it. New Zealand in the house. What's up, Dylan? I haven't heard from you. Wow, dude, get a hold of me, bro. Cheryl, Derek. Cheryl says, "Hi, Derek. I'm here. Your new album is awesome, and I recommend it. Thank you." Jukebox Cowboy from Belleville, Illinois. I love that town. Played there with the Transfusions once for a vamp, like a gothic event. It was intense. Mike Neroth says, "My album is all killer, no filler." Thank you. So, you know, we had something weird happen last night, guys. Tracy and I were over in Talent, Oregon, and we were driving down the highway, which is a small highway, very small town, very. And we were driving, and we saw a gentleman and a woman walking. Well, gentleman's being kind. We saw this guy holding a lady's arm, and she was in obvious distress. This lady was crying, and I could tell there's something wrong. And Sister Tracy, she figured it out before I did, because before I could even think that lady did a U-turn right there in the middle of the freaking road, stops the car, and I'm like, dude, what if this guy's got a weapon? So Tracy, she's got balls bigger than King Kong. Anyway, thank you, Tracy. But what happened was we knew there was something wrong. So we immediately pulled the car from the middle of the highway into a dispensary parking lot. As soon as we did, we noticed 2 or 3 people on their phones calling the cops. They were there in like 60 seconds. No kidding. And the dispensary owner or shopkeeper came out, and they were like, "What's going on?" And we all could feel that bad vibes. And this guy starts running across the highway at one point, physically trying to intimidate Tracy and I, and it was calling us names that I can't say on YouTube. It was pretty intense, man. But, you know, we didn't know what to do. And then next thing you know, the cops come and they take everyone's name and number in case they need witnesses, in case there's something wrong with this guy. Well, it turns out, guys, today I get a weird call. It says private. Normally, I don't even answer the phone because of so many scams. And I'll be damned if it wasn't the Talent, Oregon police. And they said, "Look, we just want to know if you'd be cooperative enough to give a statement." I said, "Well, yeah, what's going on?" He's like, "We got the guy last night. He had all these bad charges against him. He's still sitting in jail. He's definitely was abusing him. You guys were very helpful." And he said that basically they're going to try to keep the guy away because he's a danger to our community. So shout out to those guys for all the help. I could tell by the way I was talking to these people that they were genuine community people and trying to help, not just be cops. So it's nice to have a refreshing interaction like that, because normally I've had pretty bad ones, but that was a very good one. Thank you guys for being here. Really appreciate it. Bloody F Mess Official appreciates every subscriber, every like and comment. Let me look at some of your comments, guys. And here's how we do it. If I don't see your comment, just copy it and paste it and keep sending it until I see it, because I don't want to be rude and miss your guys' comments. Yeah, 60 seconds or a couple minutes. They were there that quick, Mark. Jukebox says he recently scored the Rollers Elevator on vinyl. Dude, it is fascinating. That album is awesome. All the records that the Bay City Rollers did with Duncan Fora are top notch, man. Elevator and the other two. Right now, my adrenaline's pumping from doing the show here, and I can't think what the name of the other albums are, but I have them in my collection. You can't go wrong with the Bay City Rollers with Duncan Fora and Les McEwen and Nobby Clark. But the Roller stuff is often overlooked when it comes to Duncan. Those records are some great records. Cool. Karen Lee is in the house from Rhode Island. Gosh, it's expanding. Karen has been a supporter of the channel since day one. Karen has supported my music. Karen gave generously to my Kickstarter account to make my album happen. And I have to give gratitude because I'm a grateful person. And I like to acknowledge people that are good to me, and I like to be good to others. That's how it should work. So Karen, here's your official thank you in front of the whole world. Well, there's 23 people, but what happens is some people stay, some people go, and then there's the hardcore ones that are there from beginning to end. Thank you, guys. There's a lot of stuff you guys could be doing on a Friday night, but you're here with me, and I'm really happy to have the company and be acquainted with all of you. Weird story about the police. Yeah, it was an intense deal, dude, but this guy was a bad guy. It wasn't a joke. He was literally calling us names that I won't repeat, physically trying to intimidate Trace. And the cop said when he arrested the guy that he was violent with the cop, and he goes, I won't say anything else, but believe me, we took care of it. It's like, wow, it's nice to have a guy feel like he's legit too, not just doing a job. Any Scott Weinrich stories? I'm afraid I don't. Sister Tracy's in the house from the Church of Rock and Latitude 42 radio show. She says, who are you? Who are you? Ooh, 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 ooh. That's what she's saying. I know you. So yeah, Tracy is the co-host and co-producer of Latitude 42. She's on every other week, along with the great Ellen Morgan Huft, every Friday from 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific time at kskq.org. And you can hear her on Sundays on the Church of Rock, of course. Hi, Sandra Harvey's in the house from Florida. My oldest daughter lives in Florida. Thank you for being here. Cannibal Corpse. Yeah, you like Cannibal Corpse? Yeah, they're heavy, huh? Hoo, 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 hoo. 6 Feet Under. Yeah, there's some heavy lovers in the house. You know what? I do appreciate you guys being here, man. I don't have a lot to say. I have a little to say. It's you. That what you bring to the table that counts. So it's us intermingling here on a Friday night as if we're at a bar right now or at a coffee house or a concert, except you're in your living room, I'm in my music room, and we're talking. Please kick in if you're new, just jumped in and let us know where you're from. What is the most autobiographical song on the new album? Karen, that's a good question. A lot of them are. Rock and Roll Therapy is tongue-in-cheek about how we all need rock and roll therapy. It applies to my life. Dark Days is my views on the social climate of our days. Michael Monroe is my tribute to Michael. Under My Wheel is by Lisa Leathers. Get Leery is definitely about my take on some stuff going on with the direct energy lasers and weapons being used. And when Maui happened, that inspired me to write Get Leery. And then Skies Are Black, that's very personal, definitely. This Creepy Little Town, partially inspired by the town I live in, partially being just a little bit of fiction added in as well. Zeller Dweller, that's autobiographical. My Religion is Love, that's my trippy little psychedelic song, and my, let's just leave it at that. Baby Please Don't Go with Jordan Longmire. Shout out brother Jordan in Scotland. Love you, dude. That's a blues classic, of course. Wax Fruit is another take on my view on the way socially things are going in our world. And Leaving the Party is definitely autobiographical. And it's just my take on how when I got sober from the drugs and alcohol trip that I really had to leave the party. Bhagavan Das inspired the title. And Jim Neversink played all the great music, and Neil Solomon and Paul Rossler produced that one. Great question, Karen. Son of Snake's in the house. Chris, you love that song. Thank you, bro. He's from Son of Snake on the coast of Oregon. Love you, man. The police story, right? Yeah. He's at a bar. Mark's at a bar, but he wishes he was at a coffee house having a smoke. I wish I was with you there doing that. Cheryl Warner is in the house. What's up? How many kids do you have? I have two. I saw your thing go by really quickly. I have two daughters. I have Audrey. Audrey is my youngest. She's 31. And my oldest is Jessica. She's 41. Yeah. My favorite songs? That'd be hard. It'd be really hard because I am loved so much, bro, or dudette or whoever. Yo, man, son of Snake. He loves me too. Thanks, man. What's my sign? I'm a Pisces. Yep, my birthday is 31666, March 16th, 1966. I'm 58. Did I see that Troy Leach says, did I see BCR re-released Shang-a-Lang for charity? It's called the Shang-a-Lang 50. I did not know that. You educated me. That's cool. What a worthy thing. Well, depending on the charity, I guess. But no, that's noble. And I love the Shang-a-Lang album. It's great. Jordan is some super talented. Yes, he is, Karen. Absolutely is. He's a great singer. Are you kidding? When we went to LA, the guy knocked out his vocals in one take. We did a few more for posterity and to pick and choose. One take. He's the one take wonder from Scotland. Jordan, please do some original music. Go in and record one song. My name is Shang and I love you all. You should do it, bro. I fully support it. I'd even be willing to put it out on my record label, Fanatic Records, if you wanted. I'm too young to have a 40. She's 41. I don't know. I was a teenager, man. I didn't know until years later. She found me on Ancestry.com. God, I'm so glad that she did. She's a wonderful human being. And her mother, Teresa, is somebody I was with for 2 or 3 years as a teenager. And we were very close at the time. And nothing but love for her still. You love my channel? Kiss Universe in the house. Thank you. Have I ever seen Van Halen? Oh, you bet I have. I saw Van Halen with David Lee Roth at the Peoria Civic Center back in the 80s. And I got to say, man, it was a sort of intense show in many ways. I'm going to save that for my YouTube channel. Mr. Bloody, do I like Crass? I love Crass and Flux of Pink Indians. Love Flux of Pink Indians. Yep, I love all punk rock and love Crass. Steve Ignorant and stuff. Yeah. Nope, I was not at Gigi's funeral, but I saw the footage on video. Yeah, Dee Ramone was a big Rollers fan. I actually had one of the Bay City Rollers when I was in Scotland. I was actually managing for a while Pat McGlynn of the Bay City Rollers up until a couple of years ago. And I went to Scotland and we did a music video together with Gordon Anthony from the band Holocaust, did all the music. Well, I had myself in a position to go into the recording studio. And I thought, man, if I could get together with Pat McGlynn or one of the Rollers and get a Ramone on a song together, how cool would that be? Well, Richie Ramone, my buddy, was playing in Scotland. I had just opened up for Richie a week before or 2 weeks before in Oregon. I was in Scotland and he was playing at Bannerman's. And Pat McGlynn and myself and Gordon from Holocaust and Sister Tracy, we went to see the show along with my friend Graham and Sue from England. Graham is the Sham 69 merch guy and stuff. Yeah, good people, man. Love you, Graham and Sue. They were there and we saw Richie Ramone perform. Well, Gordon went in and recorded, Gordon Anthony from Holocaust recorded Chasing the Night by the Ramones. And man, did it come out killer. What happened was Richie had jet lag and he was ill. It was a messed up situation. He called me on the day of recording and said, Bloody, I can't do it, but can I do my part later? Send it to you via the email. I said, yes. Well, Pat decided to back out. He did. So I said, oh, well. For whatever reasons, I don't know why he backed out, but he did. And I went ahead and recorded the vocals by myself. And that song can be heard on Bloody F Mess Dark Days Unfazed. I've got maybe 20 copies left on vinyl. I'd love to sell them as soon as possible. And I've got maybe, 30 or 40 copies of the CD. I'd love to make some sales. And if you'd like a great rock and roll record that's full of passion, this is my 10th album in 40 years. Shout out Sam Dantone for the art and Sister Tracy for the photos. You can reach me at dmoody41@hotmail.com. D as in dog, the word moody41@hotmail.com. I do PayPal, Venmo, Zelle, Cash App, all that stuff. So I almost had a Ramone and a Roller on a song together. It was that close, man, but it just didn't work out, guys. But Chasing the Night turned out excellent, in my opinion. I'm sorry I'm missing a lot of your comments. Feel free to copy and paste them and keep sending them over until I see them. Thank you very much. Lots of good comments here, man. JJ French, my buddy Nick says he messaged JJ French for you. Oh, I'd love to interview him on the Church of Rock radio show. Thank you, dude. Zug Rift. Oh my God. Zug Rift. Zellstar says, have I listened to Zug Rift? Yes. I haven't heard that name in so long, man. I got to have a water break. Pat McGlynn was a complete idiot not to be on the recording. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I think he missed an opportunity to do something really good. The fans of the Ramones and the Rollers would have loved that, man. I really tried to make it happen, guys. That would have been so freaking cool. But I still say go on YouTube and check out Bloody F Mess Chasing the Night. I really think it turned out great. And shout out to Gogs for doing the music. Any chance of Richie Stotts playing on the Plasmatics tribute? No, unfortunately, there's a lot of reasons why. I'm a big fan of Richie, and I actually interviewed him. You can find that on the Church of Rock. It's called The Church of Rock, all one word, on YouTube. There's hundreds and hundreds of interviews I've done for the last 40 years on there. Wendy O. Williams, just tons of legends. And that's where you'll find my Richie Stotts Plasmatics tribute. What he's talking about, folks, is I'm doing a tribute. We're actively recording with Wes Beach of the Plasmatics and TC Tolliver, former drummer, makes an appearance on my album on Wax Fruit. So TC Tolliver, just nothing but love for him. He's going to be in the Wax Fruit video, though. The video's coming out soon. Richard Allen's producing it. It's got me and Wes Beach with video, but TC plays on the drums. And that Wax Fruit video is something I haven't really announced, but that's coming soon. How do I get an album released on vinyl? Zach says, yes, it's very expensive and it's a pain in the ass. You get a hold of a company called, Disc Makers. Go to Disc Makers, and if you find out their pricing, then you can go look at other places and find the best price. That's where you start, Disc Makers. But yeah, man, it's expensive as hell to make vinyl nowadays. My new album, I sell them for $39.99. It's, it costs money to ship it, and then there's no way to make your money back unless you charge an accurate price. But I'm telling you, I've only got 20 left, and I'd love to sell Dark Days Unfazed if you guys are interested. And it comes with a cool insert with lyrics and all these photos, and I'll send you some Bloody Mess buttons as a gift if you order CD or vinyl. Ricky Allen. Richard Allen is my good buddy that co-runs my Church of Rock YouTube channel with me. He's in Racine, Wisconsin. He's like my blood brother, and we've been through hell together and heaven too. And that channel, it brings people together. So that's the heavenly part. And I'm only speaking metaphorically. I don't mean heaven and hell literally. Yeah, maybe I do. Ricky, love you, man. I think he's here right now. I know he is. Give him your info, though. I'm not sure. I must have missed the first part of that. Sorry, Nick. Yeah, it does suck that it costs so much to make vinyl. Somebody send a message that it says retracted. So AMZ, no problem. Thank you guys for being here at Bloody F Mess Official. It's great to be here on a Friday night hanging out with y'all. I appreciate every one of you. I really do. And there's 36 people in the house right now. I see it go up and down. And, it's only as interesting as we make it, right? But I'm trying to be here to just be a friend, to hang out, man. I'm not just trying to sell my record. If you guys got any questions about any videos I've done, if you've got requests, or if you want to tell tales, if they're real short, because these things go by quick. I can barely read them. It's better to keep stuff very short. And if you don't get your message read, just copy it and keep sending it over until I see it. Thank you so much. Oh, wow. Thanks, Karen. She says the new album is my most ultimate. In 10 years, in 40 years, it's 41 years now, I've done 10 albums, and I'm grateful for every single band member that I've ever recorded with. Thank you to the great Dave Moe. He's one of my best friends in the world. I love him. One of my favorite musicians. And he literally sent me a tape with 13 songs, and I used 7 of those, actually 6. And then he put together, just by requesting it, because Jordan Longmire wanted to record Baby Please Don't Go. So it was like a fast food service. I requested it. He put it in a bag and sent it over like a day later. Crazy, man. And the great Alex Moore is on drums on that one. But Dave plays guitar and bass. Mike's asking where I got the cool pants that I wear on the cover of my album. No, nothing's impersonal. I'm pretty transparent, man. I'm pretty unafraid, to be honest. These pants, I got those through the mail. the best stuff I get is through the mail order, and I ordered them. I saw them. I'm like, wow, I love these freaking pants. They're absolutely my favorite pair of rock and roll pants, and I'll probably be wearing those bad boys when I play Davenport, Iowa on March 14th of next year, and also Chicago, Illinois on the 15th. I'll be in Davenport at a place called the Raccoon Motel March 14th, and at the Live Wire in Chicago March 15th. How did I first become with Richie Ramone? His wife was an attorney in Los Angeles, and I was hosting the Church of Rock on a station called KZZE in Medford, Oregon. She was a fan of my show, and she reached out and said, "Hey, man, I love your show. Can you by chance find an MP3 of this one Ramone song? We can't find it. Richie needs it." And my buddy at the time helped find it immediately, and we sent over the MP3, and she was like, "Oh, awesome." And then there was another MP3 they couldn't find, and we found it right away. Well, anyway, she said, "I owe you a favor. If you need it, just let me know." I said, "Well, I'm going to be in Los Angeles in a couple of months recording my 30th anniversary, which was called the Bloody Mess Rock Circus Mountain Rock." And I said, "Do you think Richie would be kind enough to come in and do some backing vocals on my album?" She wrote back an hour later, "He'll be there." And we became buddies, and I love that man. Richie Ramone is a great human being, a kind person, and one of the best rockers I've ever met. I love him. I've opened up for him twice, grateful, and he sang backup vocals on, I don't remember, 4, 5, 6 songs on the album out of 10 songs. I love Richie Ramone. Oh, JJ French from Twisted Sister writes for an audio zine. Wow. Please give him my email. I'd love to send him a copy of Dark Days Unfazed on CD for review, maybe. Thank you, man, Nick. Oh, yeah, Troy from Virginia says he's planning on coming to see me in Chicago or Davenport or both. Thank you, dude. I hope it's going to be packed. I got to say, whenever I come to the Midwest, I've never had a show that wasn't packed. So I am very grateful, and I hope that sells out. Troy, I'm so stoked too, bro. It'll be great to see you in person again, buddy. Zach says, "Can you imagine trying to live in the real world and pay bills and try to go out on tour?" A lot of people have to do that. It's very hard. I'm in a position where I don't make a lot of bread, but I live the rock and roll life. Like I try to support myself through my music. That's why I'm selling my new vinyl, Bloody Mess, Dark Days Unfazed, on vinyl and CD. And I'd appreciate if you guys would buy a copy. That'd be great. You can hit me up at dmoody41@hotmail.com, and I can get it out for you this week coming up. And I'll send you some free Bloody F Mess buttons if you purchase. And I also have maybe 10 copies that are a little bit damaged, like the spine has a rip down the middle, like about this big. It's not that big a deal. And I have some that have the tops messed up. So the company disc makers actually sent me 10 extra records to make up for it. So we have 110 copies of that thing made, and I sell them just by myself. So there's no distributor, I'm the record label, Fanatic Records, and Ragged Records out there. But that's why they sell slow. I have to do it kind of one hand. I'm a one-man army, baby. That's what But if you want the record, I got it. Awesome story about becoming friends with Richie. Thanks, Karen. Do I like Wasp? Yep. I love that rock and roll, and their theatrics were always off the charts, man. Yeah. Do I like Eddie Trunk? I like some of his interviews I've seen. I don't hate him or anything like that. I mean, I'm not a huge fan, to be honest, but I'm not like against him. God, bless his heart, man. He's a rocker, But I know a lot of people don't like him. So, I mean, I'm kind of on the fence about Eddie Trunk. He kind of annoys me in a way, but other times I'm very interested. So I'm down the middle. I'm sure some people are annoyed with me. I get it. Is Merle Allen? I missed that one. Something about Merle Allen, but it went past. Cheryl Werner, me and Jordan need to work together again. I'd work with Jordan anytime. I should play New York City. I played there quite a few times, and I was a guest on a couple talk shows there. I was on the Phil Donahue TV show in New York City in 1994, and I was on the Rolanda show in 1994, and we played there in 93 or 4 on the Hungover and Stoned, Bloody Mess and the Scabs tours. We did 2 gigs in one night, one at the Continental Divide and one at the Scrap Bar. Richie's a sweetheart, Richie Ramone. Yeah, when I lost my dad, I reached out to him about a song he wrote about his dad. It truly moved me. He personally got back to me. Richie's a great dude, man. I had a friend that collects Ramone stuff, Ed Young from the Resonators. Hey, Ed. He has every autograph from every Ramon, but he didn't have Richie, and he asked me if I could help somehow. I immediately texted Rich and said, man, could you hook up a brother or whatever? And he sent Ed 2 autograph pictures in the mail. Yep, what a guy. Crater Lake. Oh, yeah, I love going to Crater Lake. It's beautiful there. It's heavenly in Oregon. I love it. I live at the southern end of Oregon, though. I'm not up anywhere near Portland or Eugene. I'm at the bottom, right 15 miles above the Northern California border. But, yeah, I love getting out in nature, and Crater Lake is beautiful. Tell us about the people stopping you from being in the Gigi documentary. Well, when I was interviewed by Michael Bowen a couple of years ago, there's a Gigi biography coming out, a definitive, like big one. And Michael Bowen interviewed me, and he told me, I'm not going to name names because I don't want to start drama, but there was people that basically told other people in the past in the media that were doing documentaries and interviews about Gigi stuff and releasing these things, that if they talked to me, that person wasn't going to be in it. And it was a key figure in the Gigi history. So I was cock blocked, I guess, from being in some of that stuff. Is it true? Probably. But I'm not a grudge holder, and I just think it sucks for the fans that were cheated of the stuff I could have contributed, man. I was friends with that dude from 83 to like 91-ish. And dude, we had a lot of experiences that people don't know about. And I'm going to be telling them on this channel when I start my Patreon account. You're going to get a lot of the like adult material. And I'm going to tell a lot of them right here for people that just subscribe. So I'm telling you, I've got 50 Gigi stories, at least off the top of my head. And there's already 2 on my channel now, but I've got a lot more, guys. So yeah. Mothman. No, I've heard the name. I have not seen Mothman. Give JJ a link to your channel. Oh, you did? You gave him a link to my channel and the Church of Rock and my email. Thank you. I would love to interview JJ French. I'm a huge fan of Twisted Freaking Sister. 41 people in the house. Happy Friday night, you guys. Rockin' freaking roll, man. Here's to you. Yep, I'm really grateful and proud to have all these friends. Thank you guys for all the support of my music, my radio show, and just your love in general. It's totally returned. Sri Ramakrishna. Shout out to Floyd if you're in the house. Sean Floyd, cousin of Gary Floyd. Are you in the house, Sean? I love and miss Gary Floyd from the Dicks. Can a short version of why you stopped talking to Gigi? I didn't really stop talking to Gigi. We never had a falling out. It's just that I didn't follow the mission thing. That wasn't my kind of style. I'm not really a follower. I'm more of I'm a think for myself kind of guy. So when he started he really went through some stuff after prison, and he started getting really hardcore. Nothing against the mission statement, but it just got a little bit too much for me. I was like, dude, really? So I told him, I'm not into your mission, but I love you, man. And I'm always going to be your friend. We never had a falling out, and it was what it was. Our communication just kind of slowly stopped but maybe the last 9 months of his life. But I always, I was always friends with him. Yes, on a JJ French interview. Yes. Sister Tracy says, he show your stickers. Show my stickers. Okay. That's a cool request. These are my stickers on my water bottle. Sisters of Mercy. There's Saraswati. There's the addicts. Let's go quick. I'm not trying to bore you guys. Got this from my buddy Gio. Shout out to Gio in Portland. This is cool too. Got that from Gio as well for Christmas last year. This one's ripped. Sucky. Back to Ramakrishna and Holy Mother. And there you go. This right here is from my favorite coffee shop in Oregon. It's called The Human Bean. It says, don't worry, bean happy. Ha! Anybody out there a coffee freak like me? I love my coffee. Although right now I'm drinking water, guys, with electrolytes in it. So we have 40 people in the house. We're 35 minutes into this little chat. What can I do to make you guys more interested right now? What can we do to pep it up a bit, huh? Tell me where you're from, guys. Where are you right now from? Where are you from all the time? Anyone in the punk world that you did not get to see live that you wish you did? The Cramps. I still pull my hair out thinking about it. Do I go to the Kiss cruise? No, but it'd be interesting. I got to interview Bruce Kulick from Kiss once, and it's on my Church of Rock channel. Please go there and subscribe, and please subscribe to this channel, guys. It's called The Church of Rock, all one word. Nearly 1,000 posts on there with hundreds of interviews I've done. Big coffee freak, Cheryl. Yeah, Arizona's hotter than hell. It's 102 right now at 7:30 at night here, and it's going to be 113 this week. Crazy heat. I feel ya. Canada in the house. Mike Wilder. Nina Hagen. Zachary saying, that's a good question. Did you ever see Nina Hagen live? Hello, OS Tyler. Irving, Texas. Gene Perfect. Love you, bro. Nina Hagen. No, I didn't, but I'm a huge Nina Hagen fanatic. And guess what? Some of the best stuff that she did that I like, including Nun Sex Monk Rock album, was written and produced by Paul Roessler. He's the guy that produced my Mountain Rock album. He produced my Divine Dirt album. He produced my brand new Dark Days Unfazed album. And he played keyboards on those records, except for this one. There's no keys added because they weren't needed. But Paul Roessler is one of my favorite human beings. And man, when I found out he was on Nina Hagen's records, I was like a fanboy from hell. I sent Paul Roessler a text message today, literally about 3 hours ago, and it said, "Hi, Paul, random text. I love you." And then he wrote back, "Aw, very much appreciated," and returned. That happened today. Yep. I love Paul Roessler, man. He's the most talented guy, one of the best producers in rock and roll, guys. He runs Kitten Robot Studios in East Los Angeles, California. If you want to go to a guy that's going to make your record sound how you want, you go to Paul Roessler. Shout out to the great Paul Roessler. Love that man. He used to play keyboards for the Screamers. He was in 45 Grave, Twisted Roots, the Jatan Demon Quartet, all these bands. Oh, I love Paul. Cheryl Werner, any chance of a Michael Monroe interview? I'm working on it. I'm trying behind the scenes. I've got people over there now that I've been talking to that know him. So we'll see what happens. Do I have any crazy Gigi stories? Dude, I toured with him on a Greyhound bus twice, just me and him. He stayed at my house a few times. I have a lot of Gigi stories. I used to publish a Gigi magazine called Hated in the Nation, and I've actually got copies of that recently from my good buddy Kramer. Thank you, Kramer. And it brought back all my memories, man. So I'm getting ready to do another Gigi Allen story within a week, but there's 2 on my channel now. Got tons of Gigi stories, bro. Tons. There's an album out called Gigi Allen, The Bloody Years, that came out on Black and Blue Records that I've supplied all the content with telephone conversation snippets, live snippets, all kinds of songs that, I recorded with Gigi Allen in '89 with my band, The Scabs. We did like Ramones covers and my songs, some of Gigi songs. I would sing, he was on guitar. I would sing, he'd be on bass, plus, other guys in the band playing the other instruments. I have a ton of Gigi stories. And if you're talking about right now, let me think about it for a minute and let's see what I can come up with. Ryan Maldonado. Yeah, I do have a lot of interviews up on my other channel. Hundreds and hundreds, man. Cheetah Chrome from the Dead Boys, Doyle from the Misfits, Bobby Steele from the Misfits, Wendy O. Williams, Ron Ashton from the Stooges, Charlie Harper from UK Subs. Bay City Rollers and people from famous punk bands, and I've actors like Michael Berryman and controversial people that are, Bhagavan Das, Lynette Fromme, a good friend of mine. She goes by the name Squeaky Fromme. Used to. That's not what she goes by now. But there's a lot of interviews I've done because I like to interview people, and I'm always unbiased, I should say, in my interviews, and I just interview and ask compelling questions. So if you go to the Church of Rock, all one word, it's all there, guys. Joan Jett. What about Joan Jett? I've met her twice. There's a great story on my channel about meeting her, and that's just one of many that I have. She's wonderful, a total rocker. And when I got to spend like a half an hour alone with her, with me and Sister Tracy, it was just like hanging out with a good friend. She was cool, and she produced the first Germs album. Gigi did produce my Bloody Mess and Hate record. Yes, that came out in '85, but the truth is it was all a myth. He really didn't do crap on that record. He called me and said, "Bloody, I'll help you out. Put on your record that I produced it." I said, "Okay," because we were a nihilist band. We didn't give a damn about ethics. So there you go. First time I've ever revealed that. Gigi never touched that record, but it says produced by Gigi Allen, but I can't lie. I just can't. So I'm not gonna. So The myth has been busted. I've revealed something. That's a GG story for you right there, buddy. Yeah, he never produced. It's called I'm Glad Sid's Dead, Bloody Mess and Hate. Can you believe that thing came out on vinyl in 2018 on Puke and Vomit Records? Yep, I said that right. Puke and Vomit Records. A little label that puts out a lot of punk rock, man. They're down in the Southern California area. You can look them up online and probably find that vinyl. It came out on orange and black vinyl. It's awesome. Comes with some cool stuff inside too, like a GG postcard with a photo I put out that I took. Yeah. Duncan Fora is a fan of yours, is he? Would you two be up to collaborating? Yeah, but our styles would probably clash. I mean, unless we did something like Chasing the Night or maybe a cool cover. I don't know, because mine's a little more edgy. I don't think Duncan would want to record with me. I'm a big fan of Duncan Fora's music. Love the guy's music. Love the Rollers. I love his soul. All of it. He is one of the hands-down most talented guys ever. I like the guy personally. I've interviewed Duncan twice, which is on my The Church of Rock YouTube channel. He was the third singer for the Bay City Rollers. He was in a band called Rabbit. Yep, I'd record with Duncan in a heartbeat, but I'm sure he's not that hard up to do a song with me. Now, if you want to set it up and he says, yeah, I'll do a song with him in a heartbeat. Keep on dancing. You can go on my Church of Rock YouTube channel and you can find a video of me singing Keep on Dancing with Pat McGlynn from the Bay City Rollers on guitar. We performed it on the Steve Mac Roller Mania radio show in Scotland a couple of years ago, man. Yeah, that's a pretty trippy experience there for sure. You know, I've been holding back on telling that story because there's a lot of things that are, that are hard for me to deal with that I really don't want to make public, but I'm going to at some point. Well, Karen, you're preaching to the choir. I've been wanting to interview Michael for a long time, so if I can, I will. But right now, there's nothing I can do. I can't get to his people. I've tried 5-6 times, and I just keep getting into a dead end, But if Michael Monroe sees this or someone tells him about it, I'd love to interview Michael Monroe, and it sits on the table at that point. There's nothing else I can do right now. Duncan would definitely record with me. That's very assumption. That's an assumption. I don't believe that to be true. And the only way I would believe that is if he sent me a message himself saying that. Rocky Erickson. I love Rocky Erickson and the 13th Floor Elevators. Yeah, good question, Mike. During the fires of 2020, the Alameda fires, I had 2 storage units and all my stuff burned. Hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of pop culture items, 10,000 CDs, 5,000 vinyl records, mass amounts of autograph stuff and very, very rare stuff, really rare stuff. And I was going to open a pop culture museum here in Ashland, Oregon before that happened. What a shame. So it is what it is. Yeah, I lost everything, man. 95% of everything I ever owned, basically, man. It took a while to get through that psychological nightmare, but I did. And you know what? I learned that attachment causes all misery. And once I let go of my attachment to it, which I still have about 5% left, and that part still hurts. But the rest of it, I've let go, and I've learned that it's not things that bring happiness. It's memories, and it's being here now. I've seen Ozzy live countless times with Sabbath, solo, with Randy Rhoads. If you look on my channel here, down at the bottom of my videos, of the video list, there's a story about me seeing Ozzy with Randy Rhoads and Motorhead. It was an amazing experience. You should check that video out, my friend. I've seen Ozzy on the Blizzard of Oz tour, on Diary of a Madman tour, and the one after that, I saw him with Sabbath. I love Ozzy and Sabbath. Diary of a Madman and Blizzard of Oz are 2 of the best rock records ever. The Dwarves, I've never been a huge fan. I used to write to Sergeant Saltpeter of that band. We used to correspond, but I'm not going to lie. I've never been a huge fan. I mean, I'm not an anti-Dwarves person. Never been a huge fan, to be honest. Sorry. You know what I mean? You can't like it all, I guess. I seen you in a dive bar doing Doors jams, and they ever think about doing a Doors tribute CD? Well, you know what? I was in a band called The Vanes, and we used to do a lot of songs. It started out as a cover band, and we did a whole set of Doors songs because that's one of the bands I can sing well. And we would do a whole set. If you go to YouTube, Ponk Media released an EP last year called Bloody F Mess, Screaming the Blues. It's a 6-song EP that's only available on the YouTube and digital streaming platforms, all music platforms. Once again, Bloody F Mess, Screaming the Blues, and there's a version of me doing Roadhouse Blues live in like 2006 on there. I would love to do more Doors stuff in the future. I've always included the Doors in my sets. Even on my last US tour in 2019, 2018, I did Not to Touch the Earth, Not to See the Sun, Nothing Left to Do But Run, 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 Let's Run. That was a great song, man. Woo! The Rolling Stones are one of my favorite bands of all time. My favorite era is the Brian Jones era. Huge fan of the Stones, man. And I also love the era up in, Through Sticky Fingers, Give Me Shelter, Let It Bleed, all that stuff. I actually recorded it. You can go to the YouTube and type in Bloody Mess, the Renegades demos, and you can find my version of Let It Bleed on there, studio version. Favorite Texas punk bands? Oh, man, there's quite a few, dude. The Cutthroats, Texas Terry, Jeff, my memory is not so good sometimes. Jeff Smith, the Hickoids, the Dicks, MDC, originally from Texas. So many good Texas bands. Tesco V, I know Tesco. He's been on my radio show several times. Those interviews on my other channel. And I got to open up for Tesco once when I guested with a band called the Pissed Midgets. Yep, and I also sang on the Pissed Midgets album, and I have a story coming up on my YouTube channel about that experience. Love Tesco V and the Meatmen. What do you think about Gigi becoming en vogue? You mean popular? It is what it is. I never would have thought that would have happened in a million years. Hickoids, yeah. Do I get tired of people asking about Gigi? No, but I get tired of the people that have never heard my music and dismiss it or say that I was trying to ride his coattails or that I'm anything like him, because I'm not. And my music is so different than his. And it's a shame that more people haven't heard my music past like the 80s, 90s. But I put out a lot of music over the years. And I think a lot of the best of it was the latter half of my life. Was Too Fast for Love on Gigi's radar by Motley Crue? He probably liked him. He liked Great White when I met him. Difficult interview I had to prepare for? Nah, I can't really think of any, because I don't even write questions when I do interviews anymore. Maybe 2 out of 10 I'll write questions for. So it's gotten to where it's just like I approach it like I'm sitting down with a friend. I ask a question, they answer, and I just kind of riff off that and keep going. So I normally don't write questions. Now, sometimes I do, for sure. I'll do a lot of research and have a list. Like I interviewed Ivan Julian from the Richard Hell and the Voidoids, and that's going to be on the show this Sunday. And I made a small list. Hi, Jason Groves from Peoria. What's up, man? Gene Perfect, you rule, dude. Jason Groans, cool comment. Okay, Son of Snake, do you get stage fright? No, I get nervous sometimes just with anticipation, but I never get stage fright anymore. I get stage fright if I'm alone without a band. I hate that shit. Yeah, I don't like being on a stage without a band. But yeah, good question. Favorite interview I ever did? Oh my gosh. I used to do a fanzine called Fanatic, and I did many before that under the name Bloody Mess Publications. I think talking to Wendy O. Williams, who was a friend of mine at the time before, we used to write back and forth and all that. And when I got to interview her, that was one of the coolest things ever. I love Wendy O. Williams and the Plasmatics, but there's probably Lynette Fromme and Bhagavan Das. Those are my favorite interviews. I don't know if you said that was the question or not, but those people were extremely interesting people and it still are, and very, very interesting and great interviews because the subjects themselves were above average intelligence and able to, engage. Gigi did see Motley Crue on the Shout at the Devil tour in Boston, and that's why he turned kind of glam. That doesn't surprise me because that Live Fast, Die Fast video was glammy, and I loved it. He hated it. He hated it. He was embarrassed by it. I don't know why. I thought it was campy and great. What's up, Young Magic in the house? How did I meet Squeaky? I started writing to her back in the 80s, and when she was in prison in Florida. And we engaged a couple of times, and then we lost contact. And then when she got out, when she was released after like 40 years into the public, and she's not the kind of person that should be locked up anyway. Most people don't know that was all about the redwood trees. It wasn't, and there was no bullet in the chamber, none of that stuff. And it wasn't like people think. Let me tell you, I'm telling you, the media is bizarre how they do things. But anyway, long story short, I got a hold of her when she got out of prison in the National Enquirer, National Enquirer magazine, that tabloid trash. They offered her 10 grand for an interview, and she's like, F you. And then I got a hold of her right after that, and she said, I'd rather do it for free on your channel because I know that you won't skew things and you'll do it honestly, and I can trust you, which she did, and she wasn't let down because I would never do anything to betray anyone's trust willingly. So yeah, that's how it happened, and those interviews are good. The first one is really long, but it's not as good as the second one. The second one is extremely, because I tried to keep it safe and not talk about any dark stuff, because there's a lot more to her life than a period of time that she's known for, right? A lot of stuff happened that was good, and people don't get it, and she wasn't involved in any of the dark stuff like people think. Nope. So this is controversial area here, guys, but all I'm telling you is she was released. She's a good person. It's not what people think, and the interviews are really good. I don't know where I was going with that, but I better get off the subject. She's a friend and remains to be, and is a good person, and I love her very dearly. Michael Channels. I watch his channel. I watch his YouTube channel. Yep, back porch tapes, right, or whatever. Yeah, he's very interesting. He's one of the YouTube channels I like. There's a handful that I really like a lot. Do I have a copy of Be Here Now? Yeah, right here on my bookshelf. I'll grab it. Where is it? Where is it? Come on, don't make me look stupid. Don't make me look stupid. I've got a copy of Be Here Now. I just can't find it on the fly, I guess. Isn't that sucky? Aw, that's not good at all. Oh, well. Yes, I do have a copy of Be Here Now. It's just not in sight. And by the way, here's a copy of Lynette Fromey's book, which is a really, really good book. And there's nothing dark or negative about it at all. It's all her life up until 3 months or so before the summer when all the bad stuff happened, which she wasn't a part of. And this is called Reflection. And it's actually Peas in Hall Press has it. Yep. Very interesting book, man. I'm an avid reader. I like to read books. I read everything, man. I sometimes read 2 or 3 books at a time. And right now I'm just at the last 5 pages of the autobiography of Geddy Lee from Rush. And then before that, and I also have a stack of books to read that'll keep me going for a while. But I do have Be Here Now. It's just not in sight. I'll tell you what, I do recommend is Bhagavan Das's book, man. His book is extremely trippy. It's called It's Here Now, Are You? He's the guy that taught Ram Dass Be Here Now. So yeah, to balance things out here, I got to go swimming with Ram Dass in Maui about a year or 2 before he died. Just me and Sister Tracy and like 10 others, his friends, and then us 2. And we were invited by his personal minister to swim with them. And he was in a wheelchair at the time. And he was floating in the middle of the ocean. It was not in the middle of the ocean, but way out. And it was a very amazing experience, guys, to swim with Ram Dass. Nope, no FBI or law enforcement agencies ever contacted me. I'm sure I'm on plenty of lists. That's fine. I'm safe. And there's 2 types of people. There's happy crazy and there's sad crazy. We're all crazy in my book. But there's people, the guy walking down the road that's talking to himself, that's out of it. He's sad crazy, probably doesn't even know he's, whatever. And then there's happy crazy like me. That was taught to me by my ex-yoga teacher, Hariom Ramakrishna. Hariom Ramakrishna. Thanks for the tip. Jukebox Comedy, or Cowboy. There used to be a comedy club in Peoria, Illinois called the Jukebox Comedy Club. Middle of the ocean. Ha ha ha. Could you please confirm that a video exists of you and Gigi at an after-show party after the OK's Corral in Madison? Nope, there's not one that I've ever seen. There's only audio, and that's on the Bloody Years CD on Black and Blue Records. Jim Goad. Yes, I used to know Jim Goad. We used to write back and forth, and I used to get his magazine Answer Me all the time. And I've actually got a copy of Answer Me, I think, on my eBay or my eBay store. Fanatic Pop Culture on eBay. Tons of autographed items, rock and roll records, Bloody Mess stuff, clothing, tons of stuff. Fanatic Pop Culture on eBay. That's my eBay store. Everyone's on drugs. Yeah, that's a song I wrote with the band. God, I always forget. It's either the Rock Circus or Divine Dirt. I can't remember. It's all going away. Everyone's on Drugs is Divine Dirt. Yeah, it's on the Divine Dirt album. It's a great song, and it's a video, a music video that we did here in Ashland, Oregon. You go to YouTube and type in Divine Dirt, Everyone's on Drugs. It's a pretty funny video. Shout out to the guys that were in Divine Dirt, by the way. David Valley on guitar, or on bass at the time. Andy Friend on guitar. Jesse Lee on drums. Any Texas Terry Bomb stories? No, she used to write to me, though, and send me CDs a lot. Yeah, she's awesome, man. Somebody the other day, Bill Meisner is the one that turned me on to Texas Terry. He knew her first, and then I started writing to her. I haven't talked to her in years. Haunted Garage. Yep, I've heard of Haunted Garage, but not familiar with their stuff, really. Thanks, Karen. Says she loves the video for Everyone's on Drugs. I've got about 12, maybe, I haven't even counted. I maybe have 12 music videos, if not more, maybe a little less. And I have a new one coming out soon called Wax Fruit from my new album with me and West Beach from the Plasmatics, with TC Tolliver of the Plasmatics too on drums. And Richard Allen out in Racine, Wisconsin is producing it for me. Yeah, it was Divine Dirt, Troy. Remember a song called I Like Drugs? I can't remember who did it. Eric834. Hey, Eric, thanks for being here. I do not remember that. Troy Leach says his favorite video of mine is My Black Little Heart. That's my very first music video. The song was made in 1999, but the music video was produced in 2008 by the great Mike Garrett, who has done over half of my videos. He's my man, Mike Garrett. Man, I love that dude. And what you might not know is he's one of the most talented musicians I've ever met. You should hear Mike Garrett play guitar or anything. Huh. Whoo. And he's got a voice like an angel. Yeah, My Black Little Heart, by the way, can be found on my YouTube channel. You just go to Bloody Mess, My Black Little Heart. It's a good video, which was filmed at the old Zeller Zone State Mental Institution in Bartonville, Illinois. Squeaky's description of seeing San Francisco for the first time in her book is one of the best descriptions of San Francisco ever written, says Mr. Slats. Mr. Slats. Yeah. You know what? It's a great book. She's a great writer. Thanks, Gene. Glad you guys are here, man. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate that 37 people are still here after an hour. I'm planning on staying for 2 hours at the latest if you guys want me to. I don't want to give too much or, irritate anyone. But I want to say I've got maybe 20 copies of my Dark Days Unfazed albums for sale. I'd love to sell those tonight, you guys. I'm a rocker and I got bills to pay, and I know that you got rock and roll to collect. So why not help me out, man, and I'll help you out. I'll put music in your ears. You put money in my PayPal account. That's how I'd love it to be. CD or vinyl. If I could sell these tonight, I could have money. That'd be great, man. A rocker's got to do what a rocker's got to do, man. Seriously, this YouTube channel is helping me. My music is helping me. My YouTube channel, eBay store. I love you guys, man. I wish you guys would support my new album, and if you haven't already, please pick it up. Dark Days Unfazed, my 10th album in freaking 40 years. Let's see. What do we got here? Japanese punk bands. Zachary, what's up, dude? Zachary Attackary. I love Japanese punk. Some good stuff. I don't really have any favorite bands per se, but I love them. Wow, the questions are coming by quick. Ever thought doing a Church of Rock? It really is a kick-ass album. Thank you, Sister Tracy. Sister Tracy in the house. Yeah, thank you very much. I like Dark Days Unfazed, and I'm very critical of my own stuff, man. But Dark Days Unfazed is all collaborations with some of my favorite people and rockers on earth. Shout out to Austin and Ren Weiss for doing Zeller Dweller and Get Leery with me. Zeller Dweller is probably one of the best punk rock songs I've been a part of in decades. It really is. And we're going to do a music video, I hope. Please, guys, let's do it before you move back to Illinois. Yeah, they're relocating back to Illinois, guys. Gonna miss having their vibes in the state. You know what I mean? They're such talented people. Eric, no problem, bro. Hey, what's up, user 9249450? You joined late, but hello and welcome to the channel. I appreciate you being here at Bloody F Mess Official. Big time. What was G.G. Allen's house like? I never got to go to his house. He came to my house a few times. Howdy, folks. It's Johnny Wisman. Woohoo! Come on, a round of applause for Johnny. Yeah, Johnny. Can I play the bagpipes? That's an interesting question, but I guess that's fair. I can't play anything except with myself. No, but I can't play any instruments, man. I'm a writer. I'm a lyricist. I'm a word man. I am inspired by poets and writers and books, and I have an imagination. So I like to write, I like to plan out music videos, very much into the artistic aspect of doing music videos. But no, I sing, I write, I produce, I mix, I manage, I promote, I host a radio show, but I'm not a musician per se. What other kind of literature do I like? I like to read spiritual books. I like to read I like to read like Far Eastern books from India. I like to read about saints like Ramakrishna and Neem Karoli Baba and Ramana Maharshi and Sri Anandima and Anandamayi Ma, and there's so many that I love. I'm reading a translation of the Bhagavad Gita by Paramahansa Yogananda soon. Can't wait to read that. Thanks, Jason. He says I'm good at it, whatever that is, whether it means the videos or this music. Thank you very much, man. You know what? You think that doing these kind of videos would put an ego on you, but it doesn't. It really humbles me to look into a camera, knowing that you're choosing to be here with me, man. It actually grounds me and humbles me, and it makes me feel like I'm hanging out with my peeps and not above or on a stage or on a camera. I really do feel like we're connected, guys. Can I tell the story of when Gigi came to my house? Well, he came to my house several times and it would take far too long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to honor your request and I'm going to put those on my YouTube channel as stories soon. So stay tuned for that. I will put those up soon. I'll probably go ahead. One of them is already up, dude. There's a story called When I Met Gigi Allen about him coming to my house. So I forgot, it's on my YouTube channel. If you go to the videos list and scroll down, there's 2 Gigi stories. One about me co-writing with him on the You Give Love a Bad Name album and doing the liner notes on that album. And one about me picking him up at the Greyhound station and bringing him to my apartment and all the chaos that ensued. And it cuts off when I get to go do the gig with him the next day when he did the first You Know What on stage. That story is coming soon too. I'm telling you, when I start unleashing my Gigi stories, the Gigi community is going to freak because they're legit, they're truthful, and I've got a lot of them. And here's another thing about truthful. You know, I got a bone to pick. A lot of times people like to come at me, and that's fair. When you put something out in the public eye, you're up for criticism, good and bad. I can handle it. But when people come at me and really give me grief about getting like a little fact wrong or this or that, come on, man. I'm almost 60 years old. I'm good that I remember what I did yesterday. You know what I'm saying? So I'm only human, dude. And I do reserve the right to make a mistake. So if I make them once in a while, definitely call me out. But I'm not going to like feel bad that I make mistakes. I'm just going to learn from them. And I'm going to thank you for correcting my ass. But I have some people that can be unkind about it. It's like, really, man? Come on, I'm only human. What, you want your money back? I mean, you know what I mean? Thank you guys for understanding that. What inspired you to make a YouTube channel? Well, I've got so many stories that people have been telling me, you need to write a book, you need to write a book. And I'm going to keep saying this. To write a book takes a lot of energy, a lot of psychological going back in the past, which I don't like to live in the past. One guy told me recently, stop living in the past. I'm not, dude. I'm telling stories about it. Because people like history and I'm here to tell it and I'm going to because I like it. It's fun. I'm a rocker. So books, writing a book would take a lot out of me. I don't want to write a book. And then you have to get it printed. It costs a lot of money. Then you got to get it distributed. That's the big deal. It's easier said than done, bro. I've been doing music for like 40 years and it's always a pain in the ass to do the distribution part. So I thought we're in the digital age. Why wouldn't it make more practical sense to do my book in little chapters like this, each tale being a little chapter that would be in my book? You get to see me saying it. You can hear the inflections in my voice. I think it's way cooler. I think people need to just, fast forward to now, respectively, seriously, because I love books and I would love to have a book. I would. But this is my book because I'm not going to write a book. I'm going to just keep doing these videos until the internet goes down. Sorry. Probably got out of focus there. Chill out, bloody. Take a drink of water. Calm your ADHD ass down a minute. Jeez. Okay, let's go. There's a lot of Gigi something out there. There's actually a website where you can upload your own book and they produce it, blah, blah, blah. Yep. Thank you. I have checked into that, Zach. I appreciate the info, but I'd have to write it. I'd rather just do videos, man. Really. Do I like great French poets? Oh, absolutely, man. Morrison was a fanatic of these poets. Dude, I'm a huge Jim Morrison fanatic. I've read every book ever put out by the Doors. I've done a deep dive on his death. And I'm not trying to be talked down to you. I'm just telling you because you might not know. Huge Jim Morrison fanatic. Love the Doors. One of my favorites of all time. David Peel. Yeah, I love David Peel. When I met Gigi, that he told me that David Peel was like his favorite artist, and I'm a big fan of David Peel. I have an autographed David Peel album for sale on my eBay channel, by the way. Fanatic Pop Culture is my eBay channel. A lot of rare stuff there. I love David Peel. Lower East Side. Marijuana. Anti-Scene. Yeah, I like Anti-Scene, man. Jeff Clayton's a friend of mine, man. I actually interviewed Jeff Clayton, and it's on my YouTube channel, my other YouTube channel. Used to be a little punk shop next to the Metro in Chicago. Yep, I've been there. I remember that, man. I went to that place many times. I used to live in Peoria, which was 2.5 hours south, and I'd go to Chicago and go to Wax Trax, and Al Jorgensen from Ministry was the guy working behind the counter. Am I a fan of the Italian poet Harry? I can't say I've heard him. Nope. I'm not that educated on the French poets, but I love some of the stuff for sure. I'm a big fan of not that he lived in France. I love Henry Miller, by the way, even though he didn't, he wasn't a French poet. Favorite poets? Oh gosh, that's a really good question, man. I'd have to sit here and think about that, man. Lao Tse, I don't know. There's so many people, man. Oh my Lord. Jim Morrison, The Lords and the New Creatures book. I love that. He's a great poet. A lot of people say he's not. A lot of people say he was. I love Jim's poetry. His album lyrics were great too. So yeah, I mean, I have to think about that when you got me. Anise 9. Anise 9. I loved her. Anise 9. Do I know Henry Rollins? No, but I wrote to him once and he wrote back and sent me an autographed picture. It said, "Yo, Rev," and he signed it. And I've seen Henry do spoken word, and I'm a fan. I love the Rollins band too, man. Woo! Low Self-Opinion and Liar. Those are two of the best songs ever written. Yeah, The Alley. Oh my gosh, The Alley, Rock and Roll Ron. That was a great store in Chicago that had great clothes, man. All kinds of cool bondage and fetish gear and rock and roll clothes and shoes. The Alley, yeah. I think I bought a red leather jacket there once, man. Yeah, Wax Trax was an actual store. That was great, man. And they had their own label too. Wax Trax was amazing, man. I would go there and buy all these great gothic records and industrial records. I used to love industrial music like Test Department, Scraping Fetus from the Wheel, that kind of stuff, where they were like using actual sheet metal for the music instead of instruments. Yeah, I love all these subgenres. Like I love the Swans, Michael Gira and like Lydia Lunch, and I love all that post-punk and stuff. There's somebody that wants to make an appearance, and I got to bring her on camera because it's my best little buddy. This is Jet Dog, a little Corgi Terrier that we adopted from the Southern Oregon Humane Society when she was 1 year old. Now she's 10, and she's the best dog and best friend you could ever have. The most loyal animal I've ever had. She literally goes to bed when we do, gets up when we do. She's just the coolest. Likes to go everywhere we go, like everywhere. Movie theaters, like anywhere but a restaurant. But she's like the coolest little dog. Huh? Say hi, Jetty. You want to wave? Hi, guys. Jet Dog has made an appearance in several of my music videos, 3 or 4. And she'll be in the upcoming Wax Fruit video because this dog is a star. Look at that face. She's the cutest. Corgi Terriers rule. Everyone loves Jet Dog. What's up, Nick? What's up, Eric? What's up, Troy? South Street, Philadelphia to get stuff. Cool. Rollins did a track with William Shatner called I Can't Get Behind That. Really? I didn't know that. One of the most annoying things in the world. Yeah, anything William Shatner does musically is very annoying, but he's got like this weird cult following because of Star Trek, which I used to love the original Star Trek series. But he also did a lot of weird stuff like Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, where he would do like spoken word behind music. So if you haven't heard all that weird William Shatner stuff, you guys got to hear that on YouTube. You'll be like, what in the heck? Weird stuff, but very fun. By the way, weird in my world means good. Columbus, Ohio. I've never played in Columbus, but I played in Cleveland many times. Thank you, Johnny, for the question, man. What do I think of Al Jorgensen saying he hated the With Sympathy record, Zach? Honestly, I didn't like it either. I had it when it first came out, and then I sold it years later for a lot of money. But that was an album I just didn't care for, just in my opinion. Maybe if I revisited that album, I'd like it more. Weirdest band. Probably a band I worked with back in '86, I don't even know if I should admit it, but there was a band called Psychodrama, and then there was Lisa Suckdog. Those two weirdo entities collaborated with me on a cassette tape that's very, very rare that I don't talk about much, but it's called Bloody Mess with Psychodrama, and it's called Sew the Mouths of Others. Yep, SEW, Sew the Mouths of Others. And that's a very, very rare cassette tape. I'm sure you could probably get on Discogs and look it up and see what it's about. I don't even know if I have a copy of that anymore, to be honest, in my collection. That's something I've got to check out, but it's not something I'm real proud of either. It's kind of something I don't really like at all. But that was one of the weirdest bands, and we actually did a live gig with those guys one time. That show's never been talked about either. Beautiful Bert, 1096, me, and Psychodrama with Lisa Suckdog, and 3/4 of the people were extremely high on magic mushrooms because I brought a big bag about this big and was handing them out to everybody, handfuls. Literally a trippy experience where I performed solo with a backing tape of music by The Ventures. And I did like I Walk the Line by Johnny Cash and stuff I can't remember. And I was tripping so heavily, and I had a straight jacket on, and I made it through like 2 songs before I left the stage and left the club. I couldn't handle it, man. Tripping, it was too much. That show is going to be a story on my YouTube channel. And that what little part I told you, that's nothing compared to what happened that night. Psychodrama and Lisa Suckdog never performed, but man, were they completely weird. And that sometimes in my world isn't a good thing. No offense. If Lisa sees this, which she probably won't, I really could care less, Lisa. I know that she hates me, and I don't hate her, but boy, weird. I just could never understand them. But at the same time, I do have respect that she's got longevity and put out a lot of very interesting stuff. So I'm not against Lisa or Psychodrama. Well, maybe Psychodrama. Brett and them guys, they were like these weird Kentucky hillbillies that were, and I love Kentucky and I love hillbillies, but these guys were freaking bizarre, man. If you've heard of Psychodrama, you know what I'm talking about. Favorite venue in Boston? You know what, man? I was supposed to play Boston in 2013, but the band broke up. Never did get to play Boston. Yeah, a straight jacket while tripping. That's a true story. Yep, Nick. Nick is in the house. Mick, God darn it. Nick Pentazzi is in the house, man. Give it up for Nick. 36 people going in at an hour and 12 minutes. I'm going to stick around until the 2-hour mark. Do you guys have any more questions? I'm sorry for those I've missed because I'm trying to be thorough here, but keep them coming if you want. Where are you from right now? Whoever's watching, tell us where you're from if you haven't already. Thank you. I have not met Nardwuar, but I'm a big fan of Nardwuar. He's one of the coolest interview people ever. I love watching Nardwuar's interviews. He's interviewed everybody. He's one of the coolest Canadian dudes ever. I love Nardwuar interviewed Bhagavan Das. That was a trip. Will you tell the story about your Vane's infamous creepy crawl show in St. Louis? Yes, I will. Shout out to Mike Neroth. I'm going to ask. Okay, I'm going to tell. Ellensburg, Washington in the house. What's up, Voivod? I love Voivod. Piggy and Snake. Okay, here's what happened. Black and Blue Records flew into St. Louis. My album was out, Bloody in the Veins, one of the best albums I've ever been a part of, hands down. My Black Little Heart's on that album. We went to St. Louis to play at a place called the Creepy Crawl. I played there more than once. But this show was special because Black and Blue Records came. They had a table. We had a packed club. And I decided to get completely rip-roaring drunk. And when I say rip-roaring drunk, this is back before I quit drinking in 2013. How did I get into acting? I'll have to answer that soon. I got so drunk on tequila that I didn't know what I was doing, who I was. And by the time we performed, I literally ended up within like the first, I don't know, minute or two, I don't remember, completely naked on stage. And there's a video out there of it. and I'm not ashamed of it. It's funny. At the time, it was traumatic for my band. They didn't think it was funny. The record label, they didn't think it was funny. My wife was next door at another club, had no idea that I was over there getting smashed because she used to kind of keep me away from that and like, no, you've had enough. Well, she wasn't around to keep the leash on me, and I'm not easily tamed. And well, at least then, Tracy comes back with some people. Hey, my husband's playing tonight. They're headlining. And they come in and walk in, and I'm on stage completely naked on stage, ranting. My band's mortified. And I literally threw my Iggy Pop and the Stooges shirt off. I never got that back. My pants got lost. I ended up getting banned from the club. My band was said they could come back, but they said I couldn't ever come back. So I got banned from playing there. There's more to it, but that's what happened. Yeah, that's why I don't like psychodrama, because they turned out to be racist. And I don't like racist people at all. That's why I'm ashamed to have my name associated with them. I was just telling you guys that I did something rare back in the day. And when we met those guys, they were extremely difficult to deal with, because my crew don't put up with no racism, no homophobia, no bigotry, no sexism, no racism, or no ageism, none of that crap. And yeah, sometimes you make bad choices in life. And I'm one of those people that's happened to me. Can any of you say you've never made a bad choice? Come on, guys. I'm human, so don't judge me harshly if I'm honest with you guys, because I'm a very transparent person. I did something with psychodrama, and I regretted it later, but I am not like them, right? I found out about them after the fact. When our tape came out that they produced, I was like, I wish I wouldn't have been part of this. So I never distributed it, man, except for, right in that little bit, very little time when I was still kind of a nihilist. But even then, I knew better than be part of a group like that. So please, again, don't judge me, guys. No, there's nothing funny about tequila. I was a bad drunk for about 30 years. And when I drank, it was like Keith Moon drinking, bro. You want to see the show where I was naked? Well, I guess you're a little pervert, aren't you? You are a voyeur. Now, it'd be an interesting thing to show. I wouldn't give two rats' asses if you saw it. I think you can't put it on YouTube because it's me naked, but I might be able to get it put up and have it unlisted or private and share it with people. I'll talk to Ricky about that. Hey, Ricky, I know we have that video somewhere of me naked. Let's try to get that up privately and share it with people. I don't care. Everyone's got the same body parts, whatever, Much love from Alabama. Peyton Schulte's in the house. Thank you for being here, Peyton. 40 people in the house. You guys rock, dude. It's Friday night, man. Well, it's Friday night, and I just got paid because you guys are my friends. Yo, Jeremy White. Dude, how you doing, bro? Good to hear from you, buddy. Did you ever tell a tale of the Peoria DJ that went to visit Gacy? No, I've never told that story. But remember our times with Willie York? God, I miss that man. Willie York was the most infamous homeless guy in Peoria, Illinois. He was like a cult following, literally. And we were good buddies. I loved that man. And before he died, I actually flew to the nursing home he was in and got him high on some great cannabis. It was the last time he ever got to partake in that medicine. The medicine of the plant is what I'm referring to. That's why it's becoming legal in all the states, because it's medicinal. And Willie loved his medicine. So I flew in. Me and Sister Tracy went to the nursing home, visited him. I had a little like vape kind of thing, but it was not cigarettes. And he'd never even seen one. And he took too big of a pull off of it. And he coughed so bad for so long that he had to go get an oxygen treatment. I about died. I thought, oh my God, I'm going to kill my friend. Well, luckily he survived, and we were embarrassed and freaking out, and he wanted another one. When it was all over, he asked me to give him another one. I go, no, dude. So we ended up seeing Willie right before he died, and I actually flew into Peoria secretly for that. Do I think Gigi was racist or homophobic? Yeah, he crossed the line a lot, but I can't speak for his actions. I can only speak for mine. Do I support that kind of stuff? Nope. I had a chance to be on the Mentors tribute album, and I was going to be on there, but I found out it was going to be called A Tribute to Rape Rock, and I said, not happening, man. So I didn't do it, and I stand behind that. Yep, I'm associated with some controversial people, but I am not that. That's why they say if you hang out at the barber shop long enough, you're going to get a haircut. I never really hung out with Gigi regularly. It was in like every other year or two, we'd get together and do a rampage, but I never saw him do anything too extreme to where I couldn't handle it. But I've got a couple stories that are a little questionable, and I'll be transparent and share those stories on my channel soon. No, Gigi was serious. Yeah, he had his issues. Guys, give me 10 seconds. No, give me 3 seconds to let my dog out. Here you go. Here you go, JD girl. Okay. You got to do what you got to do when you're a dog owner. And my dog's scratching at the door saying, let me out of here, Dad. So, you know, what are you going to do? You guys, I can't thank you enough for being here, man. It really makes my night to know that people care and that you guys are rock and rollers hanging out with me on a Friday night. Wow, it does. Okay, 44 people. Thank you guys. You think about him every day, Willie York. Yeah, he's a great guy, man. I miss him so much. My Willie York art got burned in the fire, Jeremy. Sucks, man. But you can find the 12 Days of Willie York song on YouTube, and that's classic. You got to admit, Jeremy, that's awesome. That's a Christmas song that we had him come in the studio, well, Don Egan's house, and we recorded him, and we put it together, edited it, Don Egan did, and it's called The 12 Days of Willie York. It's hilarious. Just go to YouTube and type in The 12 Days of Willie York. Well, you know, as far as the homeless panhandlers, you know what? I know a lot of homeless people, and half of them have either mental issues or addictions, and the other half are people that fell on their luck, dude, and they just didn't have any more. They couldn't live any other way. So I have sympathy and a lot of compassion for the homeless, bro. But you know, I hear what you're saying. They're everywhere here. They're in every city in every country, bro, because more people can't afford to live anymore. Have you noticed the prices? They're screwing us. And I've got friends in 9 countries that say it's the exact same thing. Maybe not as bad with homelessness in a lot of countries, but with the economy, it's getting to be crippling, man. Huh. Sister Tracy is going to the garden. She says, you rock. Thank you, Sister Tracy. Don't forget to listen to Sister Tracy and me this Sunday on the Church of Rock at 6 p.m. Pacific time when we interview Ivan Julian, guitar player from Richard Hell and the Voidoids. Yeah, man, Ivan Julian's one of the real deal, like the first punk band kind of thing. And I can't wait to present that interview. It's about 30 minutes long, and I did pre-record it with Ivan just a couple of days ago. Yeah, Ivan Julian, what a legend. And the week after, we're interviewing the singer for the Necros, Barry Hensler. Week after that, the drummer for the Necros, Todd Swalla. Church of Rock, Sundays, 6 p.m. Pacific time, kskq.org. It's a live radio show. FM radio. You're homeless, Alan? See, we got a guy on here right now that's homeless, and he's here now. Alan, can you tell us how you ended up homeless? I'm sorry to hear about that, brother. Please tell people how you ended up homeless. Jade Dragon's in the house. You're lucky to be alive after surviving quite some time being homeless. It's harsh, you know? Jade, I know. I'm telling you, I have a lot of friends that have been through it. I know people very, very close to me that have been homeless. Very good, educated people. Some people are only a paycheck away from being homeless, man. Jade is in Grants Pass, Oregon. Hi, Jade. I'm honored to be here too, Karen. I'm honored you guys are all here. Thank you. Gene says he honestly doesn't think Gigi was racist, despite certain song titles, and he definitely was not homophobic. That's for sure. He wasn't. Brian Douglas Clemens, he mentioned he was a great poet. That's one of my favorite poets. Brian Douglas Clemens, I introduced him to Gigi Allen, and he was a great Chicago street poet that's dead now of drugs, but he was good friends of mine, man, and we used to call me from pay telephones all the time for a couple of years in the middle of the night. We would talk, and he was great. Great street poet, Brian Clemens, man. Remembering him, that's a good idea for some YouTube stories, some of my Brian Clemens stories. Do I like the Circle Jerks? Yes, but I don't think much of Keith Morris. He was one of the worst interviews I ever did. No offense to the Circle Jerks fans, guys. I like the music a lot, but he gave me a hard time on purpose. I don't know why. The first interview was great. Awesome interview. So we did it again, and he was just off the rails. I don't know what the deal was with him, but he wasn't talking about anything related to the questions I asked and went on a rant to where I said, I'm going to let you go, man. You know, and then later on, he was like pissy towards me. I'm like, the hell's wrong with you, man? So that's that. Thank you, Jade. I'm glad you're spending time with me. I really am. 38 people in the house. There was 41. A couple people just dropped off, but I'm glad for all you being here. I'll stick around until exactly 9 p.m. Pacific time. How am I doing, Blood? Hey, it's Bruce Norris. What's up, dude? Fellow Peorian, man. You rock, brother. Bruce, love you, man. The video with Brian Clemens where Gigi throws yeah, that was pretty hard, crazy stuff there, buddy. Yeah, that was, I'm not into watching anything with animals, even if they're already dead ahead of time. Yeah, I'm not even going to go there, but yeah, I'm a big animal lover, and anyone that hurts an animal is, not going to say anything. I'll bite my tongue on that one. But if I ever came across that happening, but that cat you're talking about was dead already, so I'm not going into that story. This message is held for review. Oh boy, what's that mean? I can't read the whole thing. I've met him 3 times. I agree. He's kind of a dick. Depends on, I guess. Who are you talking about, Peyton? Peyton says he's met him 3 times and he's kind of, talking about Keith Morris. Yeah, he's a trip, dude. He's a trip. I don't know what his problem with me was. I'm just saying, Steve Westkirchen's in the house. One of my brothers from the same cosmic mother. Shout out to Steve and Shannon Westkirchen, 2 of the kindest people and coolest people I've ever met in my life. I love you guys. He's from Grants Pass, Oregon. So Shannon, thank you for being here, guys. Yo, bro, Anak, what up? Drew is in the house. Love you, man. Drew is one of my neighbors here in Ashland and a total rocker. Glad you're here, bro. Steve and Shannon, I'm still beaming because you're here too. Yeah, thanks, Peyton. Troy Leach, I was homeless for many years with a bad addiction. The end of July will make 3 years since you've been sober. Good for you, bro. Thank you so much for telling us your tale. And God, man, bless all you people that are homeless or that have been. And I just have nothing but compassion, man, for you guys and for anyone that's homeless, despite the reason. Have I ever been into a fist fight on stage? Yep. You got me subscribed and I'm on the big screen in your house. Thank you, Bruce. Scary. Have I ever met Chuck Dukowski? No. Black Flag, though. I'm a big Black Flag fan. Thanks for asking, man. By the way, guys, please subscribe to the channel. And if you're interested in a copy of my new album, Dark Days Unfazed on vinyl, I've got 20 copies. And I've got 30 to 40 of my CD with members of the Germs, Plasmatics, Fang, Sammy Town, produced by Paul Rossler. I got to make a living, bros. And dudettes and dudes and all of you in between. I really do need to make a living. So if you're interested in some great rock and roll with people like Dave Moe, one of the best rockers of all time, I'm telling you, please think about buying it. dmoody41@hotmail.com is my email. Where's my least favorite interview I've ever done? I already answered that one. That was Keith Morris. I'm trying real hard to keep up. If you guys want to copy and paste any questions I missed, send them back around till I see them, okay? That'd be really, really cool of you. After the Gigi poop show in Creve Coeur, just how bad was the car ride home? Well, Kevin Bashir was the one driving, and he kept saying, don't be getting stuff on my mom's car. And Gigi's like, I'm not. It was pretty stinky. Yeah, it was not pleasant at all. Woo! Yeah, Nick is congratulating Troy on his sobriety, and I think he deserves it, man. Yeah, it's not an easy thing sometimes, man. For some people, it's easier than others. It can be quite a ride. There's so many addictions. A lot of people talk about drug addictions like that's the only addiction. And what about social media addiction? I've been doing studies on it for a long time. It causes depression, anxiety, and all kinds of stuff. So it's got to be balanced out, man. I still maintain that it has to be. What do? I do 4-part breathing exercises. It's impossible scientifically not to feel better, even if you have extreme anxiety, even after like a minute of doing 4-part breathing. You can actually look that up on the internet. Before this video started, I did 4-part breathing because I was like, if you haven't noticed, I'm a little hyper. I have ADHD, never diagnosed. Nope, I'm not on drugs. I get sick and tired of people saying, are you on meth? Are you on coke? Dude, ask my wife, ask anyone that knows me. I'm a hyper guy the minute I wake up till the minute I go to bed, naturally. Gene Perfect, I've been homeless and I'm once again facing that crap again, but I'm staying strong and truly believe I'll be okay no matter what. That's the key to life, because everything is self-created in the head. And if you project that you're going to be okay, it's going to work out. Gene, I'm one of your biggest supporters. I love you, man. You're going to get through this, brother. Do I think it's hard to be in the punk and metal scene if you aren't into drugs? Yeah, it is tricky. Why do you think I'm not in a band? I just, I'm a victim of my own circumstances. If I hang out with people that are partying long enough, dude, it doesn't take much. Like they always say, if you hang out at the barber shop long enough, you're bound to get a haircut. So I get sick of it, man, because again, and I'm not pointing fingers because I can be just as bad as anybody. But if I'm in that environment long enough, I start getting the urge, and I don't want to be in that environment, dude. So my new album was all collaborations instead of having a band. I just can't deal with it anymore. Is it worth getting album or CD or both? I would want the vinyl if I was somebody because I'm a vinyl first guy, CD second. Vinyl is like king to me, but you know, CDs are great too. You know what? I'd rather not talk about politics with all due respect. So I'm with all total respect, I'm not even going to talk about that stuff, dude. Can you tag people in these comments? I don't know I'm not sure how to do that. I just know that when this is over, this will be on my channel under the live section so it can be watched again or shared. Or if people miss it, they can watch it on there. Gene, I drove Gigi to the bus station after the 85 Dallas gig. Unfortunately, I had a couple of towels to put on the seat. Haha. But yeah, he stunk pretty bad. Roadkill Ron made a good point. Not homeless, just houseless. I'm a full-time RVer. You know, that's a good point. Your home is really where your heart is. I know people that live in tents and they love it. I do. And that is their home. And home is where your heart is. Once again, thank you guys for being here. If you could take a minute at the end of this video when it's done, maybe like it after it's all over with and posted. If you could like it, leave some comments, maybe share it. Share any of my videos, and I'm grateful. If you guys go to the tab that says videos on this channel and scroll all the way down, I've got all kinds of cool stories, man. Opening for the Sex Pistols, getting high with Jakey Lee, just tons of stuff. Yeah, believe it or not, Jade, Gigi was a kind person sometimes, and he could be quite normal, just like we are. But he was real. He just advanced more and more. Plus, his father was clinically mentally ill, and I think Gigi inherited that. And I think it got worse with age, is what I think. And plus, he set out to be the most sickest, decadent rocker of all time, and that's just the way he was. How did I get into acting? A friend of mine was doing a local movie, and he asked me if I'd like to do a role, and I said, I'm not an actor, but heck, I'll do it. And he gave me a script and I learned it. And that was called Bar B Girls, B-A-R, and the letter B, and then Girls. I believe it's on YouTube. And there's trailers for it on YouTube. Bar B Girls. And then I was in the movie Creeper. That's on YouTube. It's a 50-minute film called Creeper. And I sung and wrote the title track to the film called Creeper with the Bloody Mess Rock Circus. And then I did a movie called The Courage of Two, which I'm not sure if that's available. It's on DVD. Creeper's on DVD. But A Courage of Two, I believe, showed on like the Hallmark Channel or one of those channels on TV. And I had a small role playing myself in that one. And then I was in a movie called Delusion Blues that I played an aging, eccentric rock star. Imagine that. What a stretch. Called Richie Blues, Delusion Blues. And then I was in one more called Covet Thy Neighbor, which is like a 35-minute one. And that's on YouTube. Covet Thy Neighbor, Tunnel 13 Films, or Creeper, Tunnel 13 Films. And you'll find those. You can find them tonight. Watch them. Vicky Geist in the house. Thank you. God bless you for staying true to yourself. That means a lot to me, man. It really does. It hasn't always been an easy road, but 41 years into being in rock and roll, and really, it's more than that. I started singing in bands in 1980, but I'm 58 years old. I've never had a felony. Except for the weed and the psilocybin that I microdose on daily, which I'm on right now. That's it, man, for me. Oh, and never mind. Who cares what I do for sleep aids? I take all kinds of holistic meds. I take lion's mane for my memory. I take maybe 12 holistic meds every single day, magnesium and all these different mushrooms that help the brain and ward off dementia and things like that. Do I think Gigi Stuffer is a mistake? Nah. Steve has the same shirt as me. I love you, bro. Thanks, dude. KSKQ, power to the people. Love you, Steve Westkirchen. You're one of the best, dude, and one of my best friends. Do I think his antics overshadowed his music? No, because his whole thing was his antics. So the fact that we got good music plus antics, to me, made a great thing. I love Gigi and the Jabbers. I love Gigi and the Cedar Street Sluts. I love the Scum Fs. That stuff's great, man. The Cedar Street Sluts is awesome. And I love the stuff he did on Punk Media, his acoustic and blues stuff, country stuff, good stuff, man. My favorite Black Sabbath album, good question. The first one, probably, and Master of Reality and Born Again. Oh, and Heaven and Hell with Ronnie James Dio. Oh my gosh, my dog is scratching at the door. I gotta let Jet Dog in. This time I'm leaving the damn door open. Favorite Black Sabbath, let's see, Pepperidge Farms Double Dark Chocolate Milano. Oh, hell yeah. I'm a sugar guy. I love sweets. Don't even get me started because you're going to get me craving ice cream or something. Exactly. Some great songs all over the place in his career. Yep. Do you know any of the original 100 punks in LA besides Helen Keller and Paul Roessler? Well, Helen Keller is probably one of the biggest names in not only the LA scenes, but other scenes she was a part of, London, etc. And I love Helen Keller. She's a good friend, and Paul Roessler as well, who used to be married to Helen. So I'm not sure. Like Rick Agnew, I'm friends with. Casey Royer, I'm friends with. Don Bowles and the Germs, I'm friends with. Don Bowles is on my new album. He sang on 3 of the songs on my new album, and he made them way better than they were. Don Bowles and the Germs sings on Skies Are Black. He sings on Michael Monroe and Rock and Roll Therapy on this album, my new album, Dark Days Unfazed. I have 20 copies left on vinyl, and I've got some CDs left, maybe 30 or 40, and they're for sale. And if you give me, hit me up, I'll send you some free Bloody F Mess buttons with it. And my email is D as in dog, the word Moody and 41, dmoody41 at hotmail.com. Favorite strain? I like Jaeger. That was started here in Southern Oregon. How do I stay so thin? I don't eat a lot of food. And I also walk like 3 times a day, miles every day, like 5-6 miles a day. Yep, I'm a big walker, and I believe that a body in motion stays in motion longer. And if you're getting older, you have to stay physically active or your body breaks down and you'll end up in a freaking chair. I can't have that. I got to be moving around. And I like to limit my social media too, because I've learned after a few years that it does not do good for the mental health. Cheryl says she loves my honesty, and yeah, I get in trouble sometimes, and there's people in my life that'll tell me, stop being so honest because sometimes you reveal too much about yourself, but I still can't find any negatives there, so I'm just going to keep being me, man. I mean, there's some things I'm not going to talk about if I don't want to. There's a lot of things that everyone keeps private, in your life, but for the most part, I'm pretty transparent, man. You hung out with Dio? Roadkill Ron hung out with Dio several times. Great guy. Wow, I love Dio. We're huge Dio fans. Elf, Rainbow, Sabbath, his solo stuff. Love it all. Jet Dog, she's looking out the window. I already showed her. She kind of gets irritated if I put her on display too much. Do I think society was better off before the internet? Hell yeah. There's so many benefits of the internet. I'm not going to say there's not. Of course, there's so many good things about it, but it's mostly used for just crap. There's a lot of good things though, so I'm not going to negate that. But I personally liked life way better before the internet. Yep. If I could go back, I would. Yeah, I try not to be judgmental, Cheryl. I mean, I have my days, man. I'm only human. There's times where I can contradict myself just like any other human, but I do try to practice being conscious of how my actions affect others. And when I'm very conscious of how others affect me. So I've got to keep that in balance sometimes because there's a lot of people with OCD. I've got it. I got ADHD. And sometimes it's hard on me because I'm only one man, so the way I look at it is this. I put myself out there 2 hours a week on the radio show nationally, 5 days a week on YouTube, and with my music. So I'm always putting myself out there. So I've been trying to start practicing less social media, unless it's my music stuff, because I've got to have time for me to have sacred time in nature and stuff. You love Jaeger? So do I, Jade. It's so good. It's so good. The strain, we're talking about the cannabis strain, Jaeger. Do I remember dial-up porn? Of course. Who doesn't, man? That's funny. Do you remember you've got mail? You've got mail. I got ADHD with a short fuse. Well, hey, at least you're honest, Jason. I've never been diagnosed, but I know people that are in every field, including psychology and medicine, and I've been diagnosed off the record. And I don't take anything for it, except now I take psilocybin every day because the studies on it show that it's probably one of the healthiest things on earth. Yeah. Man on the Silver Mountain. Yeah, I love Dio, man. Quit putting songs in my head. 41 people strong. I love you guys. Thank you so much from the bottom of my black little heart for being here. You worked for AOL? Haha, it's funny. Hey, Eric834, what's up, buddy? AMZ says best stoner band. Probably Sabbath, man. But I also like the band Sleep a lot. But it's probably Sabbath, really, There's a lot of them, really, dude. I mean, honestly, I think I'd have to give that some thought. I like Sleep. I like Sabbath a whole lot, though. And I remember being a teenager, man, and putting on Masters of Reality and getting my purple bong out and going, man, it would take me away, Have I ever met Bobby Liebling? Nope. I met Bobby Steele of the Misfits. Well, I interviewed him. Did I actually meet Gigi? Actually, I've written songs with him. I've recorded with him. I've toured with him, or it was just me and him, or I did spoken word poetry. Dude, yeah, I knew him very well. I'm on a couple of albums that I'm on with him and whatnot. Yeah, he stayed at my house several times between the years of 85 and 89, too. Gene says he deactivated his Facebook account. Cool, man. Good for you, brother. Gotta do what you gotta do, man. Bill Gates, Metallica for me. Oh man, the first Metallica album was one of the best metal albums of all time. Kill 'Em All rules, dude. What states were playing My Black Little Heart? Oh, hell, I don't know. I just know the numbers. My record label would call me once a week and say, we've got 12 now, we've got 17. But I can tell you, it was on regular rotation all day and night on WWCT, Rock 106 in Peoria, Illinois, where I lived and started, cut my chops in radio. They had it in regular rotation. So that song is a big cult favorite in Illinois, Central Illinois. The other states, I couldn't tell you. Some were FM stations that were big and some were college stations, Karen. Good night, everyone. Johnny, have a good night. Thanks for being here, bro. I appreciate you so much, man. He says, thanks for the stories. Got to get up and drive 5 hours to play music. Bet the bank that I'll have the folks in the van watching and listening to your videos on the ride. Dude, thanks a million, bro. There's like 12 of them out there, and I appreciate you. Some of them are under the name Divine Dirt. Oh, and there's one under the name Reverend Moody. It's called Tonight I Pray. Troy, bro, it's almost midnight there. You got to go. Virginia, sayonara, and I love you, bro. This was great, and I hope you make it a regular thing. Thank you, dude. You want me to keep doing it? I will, man. Hell yeah, Bill Gates, Fauci ouchie says. Fauci ouchie. I just got that. Clever. AMZ, High on Fire, has Cody Willis breathing the heck out of the drums now. Woohoo! Jeremy White says, with you as the front man, put together your dream. Will you put together a dream band? What would my dream lineup be? God, that's a really hard one. I'd have to put a lot of thought into that, man. If I could have my dream lineup, I'd hate to say the wrong thing because I've got so many people that I'm a fan of. Because first and foremost, I'm a fan of music before I'm a rocker or singer or a radio guy. I'm a fan first. But I don't know. I'd have to think about that one, to be honest. Probably West Beach, who I'm working with now on a Plasmatics tribute. He'd probably be on guitar. And I'm actually working with one of my heroes. West Beach and I are doing a Plasmatics tribute, 4 Plasmatics covers and 2 new originals. We're working on that actively now, man. It's going to be amazing. There's talk that it could possibly come out on Plasmatics Records label. We'll see. Rod Swenson, please help us. Mike says it's so fun talking shop and hanging out. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you. Uncle Stinkford. Well, why were you snubbed? How have you been snubbed, Uncle Stinkford? Did I miss something? If I did, send it over again. If I snubbed you, I didn't mean to, bro. Or dudette or dude. Send it over again. Are you talking about me, bro? I'm sorry. Nope, I've never heard of Phoebe Bridgers. Was Gigi a big Aerosmith fan? Well, he tried out to sing for the Joe Perry Project. I've got a picture of him with Joe Perry. He absolutely tried out to be the singer of the Joe Perry Project. Gigi Allen did. Yep. So he probably was a fan. My favorite horror movie. I like Phantasm. I like The Exorcist. Yeah. Uncle Stinkford, go ahead and send over your question again. I'm looking right now, man. I'm going to look for you. Steve Westkirchen, favorite Pink Floyd era? I like Animals, but my favorite is the stuff with Syd Barrett, Piper at the Gates of Dawn. Troma. I remember Troma. Yeah. And Troma Films, too. Come on, Uncle Stinkford. Send over whatever you had, bro. If you have a question, send it over or a comment. I want to make sure I address you. Please, Uncle Stinkford, let's make sure you're happy when you leave here, man. You gotta please the people, man. You can't please everyone, so you got to please yourself. God darn it, have you had time to check out Uncle Acid? I have not, dude. Every single day, I actually get. Are you talking about the CD or the YouTube links I get? Because every day I get 12 to 15 links for albums and songs, and I have hundreds of them on the stockpile. It's hard because I only have so much time. So remind me, is it the CD that you sent me in the mail, or is it something that you sent me digitally? What's a band I can't stand to hear? Oh man, there's plenty of those. I ain't gonna lie. No, I like the Eagles. I just don't like their being overplayed on the damn radio all the time. A band I can't stand to hear. Oh, geez. I got to think about that one. I'm such a rock and roll lover. I always think of the good things about every band instead of the bad. It's like I have to think about who really repulses me. I don't know, man. Let's talk sometime. Yeah, sorry I've been putting that off, Drew. It's not intentional, man. It's just, yeah, we will, for sure. Oh, okay, Uncle Acid. I'll do that because you asked me twice now. Thank you, my friend, for repeating yourself. Uncle Acid. Feel free to send me a private message after this to remind me once more the old memory. But I want to honor your request, and I bet I'll end up liking them. K-pop. Nope, not for me. That Korean K-pop. I haven't heard anything I really dug. Maybe you could convince me to like them by sending me a K-pop video. Syd Barrett, yeah, Jade in the house. That was a good question, Steve, about Pink Floyd, but I really do like all of their stuff, dude, to be honest. Dark Side of the Moon, The Wall, Umaguma, Adam Hart Mother. I like all the earlier to mid up to the 80s stuff the most, but I like it all. A band called The Hookers. Yep, I've heard of The Hookers. How did I become friends with Paul Roessler? Good question. I don't remember. Anybody in the house familiar with the band Uncle Acid? That's what our buddy Uncle Stinkford Wetbottom is asking. Anybody familiar with Uncle Acid? Yeah, Paul Roessler. I can't remember. I think somebody recommended that he had a studio, perhaps. I can't remember. It's been a while. I've known him for over a decade now. And yeah, I just texted with him today. Any Uncle Acid fans in the house? By the way, if you haven't already heard me do my pitch, it's my new album, Bloody Mess, Dark Days Unfazed. I've got copies on vinyl, comes with Bloody Mess buttons, and I've also got it available on CD. If you email me, I would be more than happy. 35 people in the house. Guys, I'm going to stick around until it's 2 hours at the top of the hour. I appreciate every one of you being here, by the way. Really, really do. Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats. I know of them, but never listened. Okay, you're right, Uncle. You just proved your point. I'm behind, but I need friends like you to remind me of who the cool bands are that I'm missing. You know how it is. There's a certain band you kind of miss, dude. So thanks for being patient with me, man. What other story can I tell you guys before I'm out of here tonight? What other story can I tell you before I'm out of here tonight? I can tell you that I've got a great Iggy and the Stooges story that's super killer. I've met him twice, and I've already put my other story up on here on my YouTube channel about the second time. What do I think of the grunge scene? I was into it. You know, I like Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Nirvana. Yeah. How can you not? It's rock. It's still rock and roll to me. Gigi Aerosmith, absolutely our studio version of Hard Candy C. You can hear Gigi's Steven Tyler version, our voice. Yeah, he was absolutely a fan of Aerosmith. Because they're from Boston, and he was from that area. Wildest gig I ever did, probably Galesburg, Illinois, doing LSD and drinking and blacked out the entire thing and didn't even remember anything afterwards, and woke up in an alley 3 hours later with my drummer following me in a truck screaming at me to get in the car when I finally came down enough to not be blacked out. And then 6 months later, a guy sends me a videotape in the mail of the whole performance. It was unbelievably whack and a very negative and a bummer to watch. But that's, that's what happens when you are an alcoholic. It was crazy, man. Wildest gig you ever did? That was probably one of them, besides the naked one in St. Louis, but there's been dozens. I've done so many shows that I don't remember. Manitowoc, Wisconsin, one time I was attacked by skinheads. Staten Island, New York, I was attacked by skinheads. That was very crazy. I've had so many tales. These are all going to end up as stories on my YouTube channel, guys. Anak, thank you for being here. Have a good night, brother. Let's roll very soon, bro. Jason Green, I am not familiar with that name, my friend. Uncle Acid sounds familiar, just trying to picture if I ever got a chance to listen to them. Well, we should all check out Uncle Acid, it sounds like. I like the name, Uncle Acid. Where's Aunt Mushroom? Lizzie Borden dolls. I remember Lizzie Borden, the band. Do you have any stories of the Sex Pistols? Yeah, right here on my channel. If you go down, I opened up for the Sex Pistols. So you can just scroll down on my videos list, and there's a story of me opening for the Sex Pistols on their reunion tour. I've got a bunch of Sex Pistols autographs in my collection. I've got Johnny Rotten and Paul Cook. First time I ever heard of the Ramones or Sabbath, the first time I heard Sabbath was in like the 70s, and the Ramones, probably 80. And they both were mind-blowing both were mind-blowing. Big time. Changed my life. Zachary says, Jason Green is a tour manager for Stephen Piercy of Rat. He's a real prick. Oops. I interviewed Stephen Piercy on the phone on my radio show. I forgot about that. It's on the Church of Rock, all one word, is my interview with Stephen Piercy of Rat. He was cool to me, but I'm not saying that, whatever. But, oh, yeah, he's not the manager. And you just tricked me into cussing. Were you a big fan of Public Image Limited? Hell yeah. I love Johnny Lydon. Love, love, love Johnny Rotten. Madison Theater, what's your fondest memory of that venue? Well, I played there several times. My favorite memory is doing the Vain CD release party there with hundreds of people, and we had a full-on theatrical stage production with a half-naked girl whipping me, people dressed up like Bill Clinton with a sexual object hanging out of the zipper, if you know what I mean, of the rubber type, and all kinds of weirdness, man. I was dressed as a court jester for that show. That was a trippy show. Oh, and another time, I'm saving this one for my Patreon. I had a real crazy time opening for Head East at the Madison Theater once, where it was crazy. I can't give it away, but it was nuts. Can't believe I didn't get arrested. I love King Diamond. I saw him play it. What happened? Something weird just happened and my phone just refreshed. Wow, that was weird. I saw King Diamond play in a church in Denver, Colorado in 1987, and I saw Merciful Fate play also in Chicago in like the 80s. That story might be on my channel, actually, guys. Laughing at me. Uncle Acid is super sleazy in the early days, surprised more people than not familiar. Yeah, me too, dude. I don't know, man. Thank you for turning me on to them. I'm going to check them out now for sure. Typo Negative. I love Typo. I missed that show at the Madison. Long live Peter Steele. Rest in peace. Interview the Great Cat. I would. If anyone knows how to get a hold of the Great Cat, guitarist extraordinaire, I'd interview the Great Cat. That was one crazy gig. Yo. I want to use anti-mushrooms as a stage name one of these days. That's a good one. You could dress up like a mushroom and walk around. You'd be a real fun guy. Glitch. I got it too. Weird. We're in the Matrix. Woo! So I've got about 6 minutes left. One last time, guys. Think about it. Would you want to purchase my new album on vinyl? If you already haven't, Dark Days Unfazed, Ragged Records, and Fanatic Records. And I got to do a big plug for Mark Robinson and Ponk Media. My album is available on all music streaming platforms via Ponk Media. I can't thank them enough. Also, don't forget to check out Bloody F Mess Screaming the Blues. It's a digital only 6-song EP that's out right now. You can go listen to. Got a lot of cool stuff on there, man. Live and studio. Does Big Al's ring a bell? Oh yeah, I used to go to Big Al's. It was a strip club in Peoria. I had a girlfriend that actually worked there one time, and once I sat in the front row and made some comments because I was buzzed, and she heard me and got really pissed. But I better not say what I said. Nah, I'll keep that private. I can email the Great Cat. Could you please give me her email? That would be great. I'll email her and set up an interview. What, she acts like a different person and we'll say she's her manager, and then that's funny. Yeah, I'd love to interview the Great Cat. Please send me the email if you could on Messenger or at dmoody41@hotmail.com. Thank you, Vicky. Vicky Geist has my CD and loves my new CD. I love that you love it. Thank you so much for buying it. It means a lot to me. Does Creepy Little Town, it's an amazing video. Creepy Little Town, it says, does Creepy Little Town is an amazing video as well as song, of course. Thank you. I love that video, courtesy of Mike Garrett and Dave Moe. What are my thoughts on LSD? I don't use it anymore. I use the mushrooms because you can't trust chemicals. You never know what's in anything anymore. But shrooms, those are organic as all can be, and I can trust those. And I am a very big proponent of psilocybin usage, whether it be minimally or doing a lot. And I think I know for a fact that it cures depression in one use. A nice, good enough dosage will cure a person in one dose. My buddy over in Phoenix, Oregon, he works with old veterans that have PTSD that have been like messed up for years. One trip for 8 hours had one guy completely cured of his PTSD. He's back in the community working. The other guy, it took 2, and he's completely cured of PTSD and completely back in the world again. I'm telling you that the science is out there on it. Most hits took probably 8 or 10. I was a user. I was crazy, man. Yeah, I would do like 8 strips at a time. Sometimes I would go days on it. I would just keep quadrupling it because you got to take a lot more to keep going. And I'd mix it with booze. So I'd take taxi cabs all around. Long story, but I was a crazy partier, man. When I was in the drug and rock, alcohol scene and all that, I was out of control for years and years and years. But now I'm just halfway out of control. Have I ever heard of the band LSD? Yep. With the guy Stanley, who was responsible, a homeless guy. Yeah, I remember that band, Stanley. Yep, I do. I took 5 strips for 3 months straight in 99. Eesh, did that do anything to your mental health or no? Wasn't there a Big Al's hamburger place in Ashland? Yes, there still is. There's a Big Al's hamburger place here in Ashland. It's okay. I've been there a few times and I've never been like thrilled. I mean, it's been okay. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't great. It's just, to me, it was medium fare. Nothing to brag about, but it's been there a long time. They're doing something right. But I love some of the food eateries here in Ashland, Oregon. There's some good ones, man. Bird and Rye and freaking Creekside Pizza. And there's so many good ones. Yan Yan. PCP? Oh, hell no. Never did PCP. That's one thing I never have done. God, I feel like a saint all of a sudden. No, I never did that stuff. I was scared to death of it. Yes, I went off the rails. Oh, the guy that did the acid and all that time. Yeah, I got myself straightened out, but damn, what a ride. Poor guy. I'm glad you're better. Ever see Bigfoot? Nope, but I've been to the only Bigfoot trap in America. It's here in Southern Oregon, and it's a real trap. You can Google it. There's a real Bigfoot trap that was built long ago to try to catch Bigfoot. I've been there and taken pictures inside that trap. Okay, 2 minutes, guys. I'm gonna have to roll out of here because my voice is getting shot. I appreciate you guys from the bottom of my black little heart. We'll do it again soon. Please give me feedback if you liked the live chat, if you want me to do it again. I don't want to be presumptuous and assume that you guys want to keep doing this. Please give me feedback. And yeah, I appreciate you subscribing too. Favorite ice cream, chocolate chip mint. The green kind, chocolate chip mint. Oh, I love it. Any regrets in my career? Yeah, not staying in the van longer and touring in the country in the 80s to get my name more known, because a lot of my constituents are able to make a partial living doing music all the time, and I have to struggle a lot more because I was lazy and I was antisocial and just nihilistic and didn't do it. I should have stayed in the van. Thank you so much, Eric. I will keep doing it probably. Roadkill Ron, thank you so much. Thanks, Nick. I'm going to be out of here in a 1 minute, guys. Deborah, lots of fun. Keep on doing these. Thank you guys so much for the feedback. I'm so grateful. I really am, man. Really, really am. You had a great time. Thank you, Voivod. I appreciate you being here, man. Canada rules. I love Canada. I've been to British Columbia once, but I couldn't find any weed. I looked in the wrong place. You had a great time. Thank you so much, Voivod. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, Karen. I will definitely try to keep doing these bad boys. Yep, I'm getting ready to sign off. Last time I had a hard time remembering how to sign off. I'm going to see if I can do it this time. Atlanta, Georgia in the house. Yeah, appreciate you being here. I really do. I hope I wasn't annoying with my questions. Zach, no, you helped make the feed more lively. I appreciate you. Nobody was annoying. You're an inspiration. Wow, that's a nice thing to say. Thank you, man, Steven. Great live. Thanks, Mark. My self-esteem isn't the best, so I appreciate the good feedback. It keeps me going. Dutch Danish. Gene, have a good night, brother. Love you, man. Jeremy White, tell Audrey I said hello. She's actually in Chicago right now. She was in Peoria for like the last few days. And then she was at some festival in Michigan called the Electric Forest Festival. Now she's in Chicago. But I'll tell her you said hi, bro. Okay, it was great. Do more. Thank you, Zell. I'm trying to look at everyone's goodbyes before I sign off and be rude. Favorite hairspray to get? I don't use hairspray. I don't really have a favorite hairspray. I don't really use it anymore, or what I used to. I used to crimp my hair too and stuff. Fabulous being here. Joe at every minute. Thank you so much, Karen. Well, guys, it's been real. I'm going to sign off. I appreciate you very, very much. And I hope to do it again soon. Bless you all. Aquanet. Yeah, we'll say Aquanet. There you go, man. How the hell do I get out of here? I did this last time. Sayonara. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namah Shivaya, Om.